Your child isn't here to complete your fantasy as a parent. Your child is here to fulfill their purpose. So your child is not here to complete that fantasy you have. Maybe you've seen someone else's child, you've seen your neighbor's child, you've seen the way they are behaving, you've seen the way they've turned out to be, and you fantasize that this is the type of child I have. Your child is not here to complete that fantasy of yours. Your child is here to fulfill purpose. So the question we should ask ourselves as parents is, what purpose is my child meant to fulfill here on earth? What purpose is my child meant to fulfill here on earth? Do you even understand that every child on this earth is meant to fulfill a purpose? Likewise, we as parents, every one of us is sent here on earth to fulfill a purpose. So what conversation did you have with your creator, the creator of your child? What conversation did you have with God when you were about to have that child? Or when you had that child? What conversation, what prayer did you seek the face of God to understand the purpose of your child? Because your child is here to fulfill their purpose. Your child is not here to fulfill your fantasy as a parent. A lot of us have a lot of fantasies. You've seen a lot of things probably on social media. You can see your friends' children, your neighbors' children. When you go around, you see people's children, and you fantasize that this should be how my child should be. But your child is not here on earth to fulfill your fantasy. Your child is not here to complete that fantasy you have as a parent. Your child is here to fulfill their purpose. So we should work to help our children to actualize and fulfill their purpose. So we have to understand, what is the purpose of my child? What is the purpose of each of my children if you have more than one child? Because parenting is all about you connecting, parenting that child you have, not the child you imagined. So are you at peace as a parent with parenting the child you have? Or are you imagining, you're waiting? Okay, you imagine you're going to have this type of child before you get to work. As parents, we must be at peace with the children we have, with the children God has blessed us with, and parent them. Parent the child God has given you. Parent the children you have. Don't parent the one you imagine. Don't parent the child you envisage you should have had. Some of us will say, oh, how I wish this child was like this. How I wish this child had these qualities. How I wish this child had these characteristics. How I wish this child was just like this, like this, like this. You begin to imagine, and the time you spend in imagining as a parent, that should be the time you should have given in parenting the child you have. Parent the child in front of you. Parent the children you see on a daily basis. Don't imagine, don't fantasize for a child to come from somewhere else that probably suits your criteria of what you've been seeing around before you begin to parent. So we as parents must parent the child we have. You as a parent must parent the child you have, not the child you imagine to have. So we're going to learn, how can we as parents intentionally parent the children we have? How can we parent the children that God has blessed us with? Number one, as a parent, you have to release unrealistic expectations. A lot of us have so many unrealistic expectations of our children. You compare child A with child B. You expect a child that is 5-year-old to do something that a 10-year-old does. You expect your toddler probably to read like your other neighbor's child you've seen. You've seen something probably in the streets, on social media, you've seen something around, and you just have this expectation that my child should be able to do it. In fact, it's now a bragging right for a lot of parents. When you sit in the conversation of parents, you hear things like, oh, my child can walk. My child started to walk at a certain age. My child started to crawl very early. You hear another parent say, my child can read. My child learned how to read at age 2. And someone else that is still struggling or battling with their child learning to read at a later age begins to feel like he or she is not doing enough. But as parents, we must be at peace and we must stop this unrealistic expectation, because the truth is that the developmental stages of children differs. Our responsibility, our role, our jobs as parents is to help our children to become, is to support them in each developmental stage they find themselves to be able to achieve their milestones. So if you have a child that is struggling with achieving a particular milestone as a parent, instead of you imagining, instead of you comparing your child with someone else's child, why don't you get to work, seek the right resources, the right coaches, the right mentors that can help you, that can support you so your child can achieve the milestone they need to achieve per time. So we must let go of unrealistic expectations, because unrealistic expectation does no one any good. Unrealistic expectation just prevents or stops you in your parenting. You spend so much time is going, and you're not doing the work. So release any unrealistic expectation you have of your child, of your children. Expectations are great. Yes, we expect a lot from our children, but those unrealistic expectations, you expect so much, you're not ready to put in the work to achieve those results. Even the person you're comparing, it's possible that person has done a lot of work. It's possible that that person has put in a lot of work in raising their children. Are you willing to put in the same amount of work? Are you willing to put in the time? So instead of comparing, instead of fantasizing, just get to work and begin to do what you should do as a parent. Then the second step, we can parent the children we have, not the children we envision to have, is to embrace the uniqueness of our children. So have you as a parent embraced the uniqueness of your child? Are you at peace with who your child is? Or do you see that this child is not just like me, this child must be like me? A lot of us as parents, we want our children to be exactly like us. Maybe in terms of our professional career, you want your child to study the same thing you studied, or probably you went to school and you wanted to study a particular course and you were not able to study it, and now you want your child to live your dreams. A lot of us want our children to live our dream, but your child is not here to live your dream. Your child is here to live their dreams and to achieve their own purpose. So you must embrace the uniqueness of your child, even if that uniqueness challenges you as a parent. For example, you're a parent that is science inclined, and you just find out that your child is more of art inclined. Do you stop that child? Do you prevent that child? Or you have this child that is always drawing. You have this preschooler or school age child that is always drawing, always wanting to do one thing or the other, wanting to cut one paper, wanting to do one craft, and probably you're not just that kind of person. Maybe you're a science inclined person, or you're not just that kind of person. Probably you are not wired that way. You did not grow up with liking arts and crafts. Do you shut down that child, or do you embrace the uniqueness of your child? Have you embraced the temperament of your child? Helping your child to navigate through the weaknesses of each temperament. Have you embraced the strength of your child? Helping your child to navigate through their weaknesses, through their weak points. Have you embraced the learning style of your child? Helping your child to be able to navigate and use other forms of learning. Have you embraced who this child is? Do you even understand who your child is? Do you know that as parents, we should go and understudy our children? We need and we deserve, our children deserve to be understudied, because our children are all wired differently. They all have different strengths, different temperaments, different makeup. So we must embrace their uniqueness, even if that uniqueness challenges you. Your job, our role as parents, is to help our children become. is to help them and we ourselves to be on a journey of growth, a journey of renewal that will help them to become and make better choices in life. So embrace the uniqueness of your child. Teach your child what your child should know while you work on the weaknesses of your child. Don't shut your child down as a parent. Help your child to become. Then the other way we can implement parenting the children we have, not the children or the child you imagine, is to let their purpose, not your pressure, lead the way. Don't be the one to pressurize them into doing what they don't want to do, probably the course they don't want to study, the places they don't want to go to. Don't be the one pressurizing them. What should lead? What should be the guide, the force, the movement? What you should be looking out for as a parent is the purpose of your child. Is who your child is becoming. The future of this child, the future of our children. So as a parent, are you focused on helping your child be that person that God has called them to be? Are you focused on helping your child achieve their purpose, actualize their purpose on a daily basis? Or are you allowing your own pressure to lead your child? Your own pressure of, okay, you must start to read at this age, you must go to primary school at this age, you must go to secondary school at this age, because all my friends, their children are going to secondary school at the age of 8 or age of 9. You must also go to secondary school at this age. You must go to university at 14, because I have a neighbor that has sent her child to school at 14. Are you allowing your pressure to lead your child? Or are you allowing their purpose to take lead? We must understand that as parents, what should take lead should be the purpose of our children, not our pressure. So don't be that parent that is always putting pressure, pressurizing your child. You want your child to be the tops in every competition. You want your child to attend every event, every competition, even when the child doesn't want to. Even when you can clearly see that this game, this activity, this sport is not of interest to this child. And you pressurize this child to do it. You pressurize this child to read the course they don't want to read. You pressurize this child to make choices they don't want to make because you are the parents. So as parents, we should learn that what should lead the way should be the purpose of our children. The purpose God has sent them here on earth to achieve, not our own pressure. Not you dumping yourself or the things you envision to become on your child so that your child will now become it for you. Not you, living out your trauma on your child. No, the purpose should be the focus, the purpose of the child. Then the other way we can intentionally parent the children we have on a daily basis is to celebrate the process. Celebrate the process of your child. Celebrate the progress of your child over their performance. So are you willing to celebrate the baby steps your child makes on a daily basis? Or are you waiting for everything to be 100%? Your child has just come back from school and you can see that there is increase or there's some form of improvement in your child's performance. Probably not 100%, but the child has made steps. Probably the child made 50% before and now the child made 60%. So as a parent, do you celebrate the process of improvement of your child? Do you celebrate the baby steps your child is making? Or are you waiting for your child to have 100% before you invite everybody and tell your child, well done? We must celebrate the process of our children. And when we talk about process, it's not in the grand of things. Process is not in those big things. Process could be in the little effort your child is making on a daily basis. Process could be the fact that your child could not wash a plate clean, but your child can wash it clean a little bit now. Process could be that this child could not pronounce a particular sound of the alphabet or phonic sound, but this child can now pronounce it even if the child has not started reading. progress could be that your child, who is a toddler that usually will pick up a book and start to tear the papers, can now flip through the book without tearing it. That is process. So do we as parents celebrate the process of our children? Do you celebrate the daily effort your child makes on a daily basis? Every day, our children are looking out to please us as parents. Yes, they want to please you as the father. They want to please you as the mother. They make baby steps in their own little minds, in their own little understanding. How do you accept what your child is doing? How do you accept the process, the effort your child is making? You have this child that is very good with crafts, and your child just comes or gets piece of paper here and there and tells you, Mom, Dad, oh, I made you this beautiful craft. And as a parent, you see the craft and say, what is this nonsense? What is this? What are you doing? You are killing something in that child. So as parents, we must learn to celebrate the process of our children. You must learn to celebrate the baby steps they make on a daily basis. They make you a toy car. Can you accept it? While you teach them better ways to make a car? They make you something from their mind. They make you a drawing. They draw something, or they draw a picture of you. Do you tell them, what is this? I don't look like this. Or do you accept it? Do you tell them, oh, well done. I can see the way you're using your pencil. Your hand coordination is getting better. Well done. Do you celebrate the process of your child? And when I say process is not in the grand of things. Process is in the daily choices, the decisions your children are making. Even today, your children are going to make little effort here and there. Are you even seeing it? Are you open to see the effort your child, our children make on a daily basis? Or are you focused on this child needs to achieve this milestone? If this child does not achieve this milestone, if this child is not like Mr. A's child, if this child cannot talk fluently, that means this child have not started. Your child is not talking 100%. Your child can make some sound. At least you can understand. Do you celebrate that this child has moved from step A to step B? So every day as parents, these things is on our faces. Your child is making efforts. Your child is trying to do something good. Your child is trying to make effort with their own little understanding. Probably they try to write something. They try to scribble. They try to do things within the house. Are you willing to support them through the process? We must learn to focus on the process. Likewise, we focus on the process of our lives. Don't wait till everything is 100% before you appreciate yourself, before you tell yourself or your child, well done. Celebrate the process you make on a daily basis. You woke up this morning, you were able to pick up your journal. It is something. Can you celebrate it? You woke up this morning, you were able to do a particular task, even if you feel that task is not worth it. Can you celebrate your process? Can we be more grateful for our processes? Can we be more grateful for the children we have? Can we be more grateful for the children that God has blessed us with while we help them in making better choices? Can we be more grateful for ourselves as parents while we work on our journey of becoming? While we work on our journey of growth, we must learn as parents to celebrate our process. Celebrate the process of your child and not wait for everything to be perfect. Then the fifth step for us to parent the child or the children we have, not the ones we imagine, ask yourself on a daily basis, who is this child becoming? Who is this child becoming? What am I doing? The choices I'm making today, is it helping this child become that person that God has sent that child to be? So first of all, you even need to have a vision of where your child is going to. You need to have a vision of your parenting. You need to have a manual. A lot of people will say parenting does not have a manual. But the truth is that even when you don't do anything, even your inaction is a manual. You are running with a manual, but you're not being aware that you're running with a manual. It's possible that you're running with a manual of the way you were raised as a parent. It's possible you're running with your own manual of probably the things you see around, the way people parent children around, your neighbor, the way your neighbor react, the way people parent people, children in your area. That is a manual you're running with. So as a parent, you must have a manual, you must have a goal, you must have a vision, so that on a daily basis, you can sit down and ask yourself, who is this child becoming? Am I helping this child become that person God has called this child to be? Or am I helping this child to achieve purpose? Or am I truncating the purpose of this child? So on a daily basis, ask yourself, who is this child becoming? That should be the question. Is this child becoming whole spiritually? Is this child becoming whole emotionally? Is this child becoming whole mentally? Who is this child becoming? The same way our children will become, that is the same way as parents we have to become. So you need to become, and it will be very easy for your child to see you, to model you, and to become. So are you becoming as a parent? Am I becoming as a parent? Are you becoming a better version of you? When you bring your life yesterday and today, is there any difference? Is there any positive difference? Or are you just living life, just going? Are you growing? Are you reading? Are you studying? Are you developing yourself? Are you learning skills? Or are you just saying, this is the way I am? I have tried, I cannot learn it. I have done this thing is difficult, I can't get it. Who are you becoming? Because when you become, you give your children an opportunity for them to become. And that is one of the ways we can raise children the way God has sent them to, with purpose, not the children we imagined. So ask yourself as a parent, who are you becoming? When you're able to answer that question, then go back and ask, who is my child becoming? Am I helping them to become who God has sent them or made them to be, their purpose? Am I helping in building their purpose, or am I also truncating their purpose? What are you doing as a parent to help your child achieve purpose? Are you putting in the time? Because parenting requires time. It requires knowledge. It requires work. Are you putting in the work? Or are you waiting for your child to one day grow up? The child is 14 years or the child is 18 years and you say, oh, my child is an adult. No, it requires responsibility. It requires work. Forget some things you see, the fantasy here and there. You see everything looking all good. But parenting requires work. It requires responsibility. It requires you studying. It requires knowledge. When you want to build a skyscraper, you go for the best of the best of knowledge. You go for the best of the best of the best of the mentors and coaches that can help you, or the best of skilled men that can help you build a skyscraper. Are you willing to put in that amount of work in your parenting? Because the truth is that the person you raise can be a difference in the line of your generation. Are you willing to put in the work, or are you there wasting time comparing and not doing the work? The grass might look greener on the other side, but it's possible that that person, the owner of that garden, has put in the work. So it's our responsibility to put in the work in raising our children, for them to achieve purpose, not for them to be a mini you, a mini mommy, a mini daddy. No, they have their purpose to achieve here on earth. And our job, our responsibility as parents is to support them, to guide them to achieve that purpose. Are you becoming a better version of yourself to support your child to achieve that purpose? Are you becoming better? Are you growing? Are you developing? Is your child becoming? Are you helping your child from stage A to stage B to become better, all-rounded? And when I say better, I don't just mean academics. all rounder spiritually, spiritual intelligence, emotional intelligence, every form of intelligence. Are you helping your child to achieve the right education? And when I say education, I don't just mean just academics. Are you helping your child become? That is what we should be doing. Instead of fantasizing, instead of imagining, instead of comparing, my child should be like child A. So we must honor who our children are becoming, but it starts from who we become as parents. Because when we become, we give our children opportunity to become as well. So ask yourself today, what expectation do you need to release as a parent? What do you expect so much from your child that you know this child does not really want this thing? It's not really like this child cannot live with it. This child have other options, but you insist, you expect this thing from this child. What is that thing you need to release today? You need to release those expectations and work with your child in alignment with God, who is the creator of your child, to help your child to achieve purpose. So today, as parents, let us learn to release unrealistic expectations and begin to parent the children we have. Begin to parent that child in your house. Begin to parent that child you see on a daily basis, and don't parent your neighbor's child. Don't parent the child you imagined to have. Don't parent the child you should have had. Don't parent the child you see on social media. Don't parent someone else's child. Focus on the child you have. When you do that, you help that child to achieve purpose. So I believe this has been so valuable to you. Please like this video. Please share this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Renewed Parents Academy. And my name is Chioma Odikolo. Thank you for your time and do have a great day. Thank you.